Can we play with the apparatus in order to transform it?
People do not yet know how really to handle the new apparatus. Is this an answer to your question?
Well, more or less. Anyway, it seems to us that this system stultifies us.
But this is not the fault of the system. It's the fault of the users of the system.
You say we are still idiots handling this new apparatus then. How do we recognize it? What's the difference between the new apparatus and the industrial age factories? How does the new factories look like?
So is the present one. But there is one difference. So far, techniques have always simulated the body. For the first time, our new techniques simulate the nervous system, so that this is for the first time a really, if you want to say so, a really immaterial and, to use an old term, spiritual revolution. I think that it is important to say this in your context.
Don't you think we are being creative enough now? We are celebrating here, eating lobsters. Lobsters, not chips or meatballs, which are very easy to eat. We embrace the complexity of eating our lobsters. Look at the way we eat these lobsters with our obsolete tools. Is it a good way to look at things?
Yes, I think that systems can be complex in two senses. They can be structurally complex. For instance, there can be systems where the elements maintain a very complex relation with each other.
Oh, I see.
But they can be also functionally complex, which means that if you use the system, you can use it in a complex way. Now, those two complexities are independent one on the other. A structurally complex system may be functionally simple, like a television box, which has a structure of almost impenetrable complexity, but the use of which is extremely simple. On the other hand, simple systems like the chess game can have very complex functional manipulations. It is a fact that functionally complex systems are a challenge to creative thought, whereas functionally simple systems are stultifying, idiotic.
I shall insist. We are responsibly making it in a complex way. Isn't it free enough?
So I'm a little bit prepared to that question. I will give you my answer. As long as you think historical, as long as you think in terms of cause and effect, there can be no freedom.
Hold on. Are we free or not? Or is there at least the possibility of being free from the apparatus?
Let's face it, if you have a historical, political consciousness, freedom is impossible.
Again, the same question then. Why are we here? What's the use of such a symposium?
This is a certitude born out of accident. Now here, freedom becomes a meaningful term. Because freedom is then to turn accident around and make something improbable necessary.
Do lobsters free us, as humans?
Effort to become humans is in the end doomed to failure, and that you begin to see that to become human is something strictly impossible.
Who is the subject of our inquiry? Is it objective?
This was a dramatic point which I just said. In the electronic image making, no longer has it any sense to say whether the image is objective or not, but it is also in no sense to say whether he who makes it is a subject or not, because he is within the image.
The question that emerges while eating is simple. What are we doing? Are we acting or playing?
We have at least two possibilities to face our world. One is through image, and another is through linear writing. Originally, man was immersed in his circumstance. Now, when Homo sapiens sapiens came about, he made a step back from this circumstance, what Heidegger calls a Schritt zurück,
And he tried to look at the circumstance from a subjective distance. And the result was an image. Now the image transforms the world into a scene, like in a theater, scene, S-C-E-N-E.
Why are we making a video? How do you see our current behavior?
So it is my firm belief that if you want nowadays to have a clear and distinct communication of your concepts, you have to use synthetic images, no longer words.
Are your words explained by the video, or is the video explained by your words?
There is a dialectics in this. As the texts explain the images turn around and they begin to illustrate the texts. They infiltrate the texts. And they, as if secondarily, they vampirize on the text.